Hello writers, it's Joanne Fedler here again with another spoon-fed writing tip, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference between showing and telling. You know, it's one of those rules that you hear in every writing workshop and in every book on writing that we need to tell less and show more. But often when I speak to writers, I realize that a lot of them don't even understand what the difference between showing and telling is. So let me see if I can explain it in a really simple way. A text that we write is something that we offer to a reader, and we should always be writing with a reader in mind. And we write something that is full of our own interpretation and expression. And the idea is that when the reader receives this text, that they are able to use, in the words of the wonderful Israeli writer Nava Semmel, to use their own soul map to decode what is going on in that text. So in order for them to be able to interpret some of what we've written, we actually have to keep that in mind when we're writing. So we're not trying, it's not a mathematical formula. We don't need to give them every number so that they can follow what we're doing. What we do as writers is that we create a world, or we create a picture, or we tell a story, but we make sure that we always leave these small little spaces, like little open glades in between the words that allows the reader to come in and experience that text for themselves. So we don't want to be telling the reader all the time how the characters are feeling. And mostly when we're talking about the difference between showing and telling, we're talking about emotional states of characters or senses, really. When you're talking about events that happen, it's really okay to tell and to use telling in a form of exposition to condense information, to move the text along. But when we're talking about how a particular character feels or how a particular character experiences something, the way to do it in a way that is very rich for the reader is to show it rather than tell it. So if I'm telling you what is going on for a character and I say he was very angry, he felt very bitter about what had happened, he felt very anxious about the situation, what I'm doing as the writer is I'm telling you, the reader, what to understand in terms of the text. Whereas if I say he clenched his fists, he gritted his teeth, something twisted in his belly, a nameless feeling of dis-ease. What we're doing there is we are describing something for the reader, and the reader can then interpret how he or she wants to understand that situation. So this is a very, very important technique to try and get a handle on. Usually what we need to do is to focus on actions rather than emotional states that where we tell the reader what is happening. We should rather paint the picture and leave those small little spaces for the reader to come in and fill with his or her own interpretation, because we all understand and experience the world in a different way, and that is what makes a text open to interpretation. That is what makes a text rich. We don't want a text to be so dense and almost didactic, where we're telling all the time, that a reader basically has no place to come in and find his or her own reflection or his or her own nuances within the text. So have a go at that, and if you go to my website, www.joannefedler.com, you can find a free gift for yourself on that website, all about 21 spoon-fed writing tips on finding your authentic writing voice. So I hope to see you again soon.